to you Anthony Cheam. He has spent almost 20 years in the fitness and health industry and has gone on to transition into life coaching and is now a motivational speaker, author of the ABCs of Life and You 2.0, as well as working on courses and much more. Here he is, Anthony Cheam.
Hello, Anthony.
What's up there, Cameron? How you doing?
Really, really good. How have you been? It's been a couple weeks, actually, I think.
It's been a few weeks, yeah. I've just been really busy. Just working on a few projects of myself for expanding my ability to work people through. Sorry, this is my son here. Say hello.
Hello.
No, we're recording, okay? Can you just please? It's a friend. Can you go, please? Thank you. All right. Sorry. Things are good. Projects are good. Life is good. Family's good. Just keep on expanding. Keep on demanding more of myself and changing people's lives. That's all. What about yourself?
Absolutely. That's awesome. We're actually launching our company this week, Implicit Entertainment. So it's
fantastic. I love to hear that stuff, man. It's just you're going to impact when you hear people starting up businesses and doing a lot of other things in terms of getting people involved in entrepreneurial, sort of getting in the mindset of becoming an entrepreneur. It's just both scary and exciting at the same time. So there's a lot of good things to look forward to. So in terms of helping the community, building businesses, building the economy, creating a social community through what you're doing through your Implicit Entertainment, music, videos, podcasts, all these things. I mean, that's where everything's going, right? So I want to make sure that acknowledge you guys for your hard work and what you guys are doing and to your future endeavors. Good luck with everything.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. The thing I love most about it is meeting people like you and teaming up, joint ventures, that type of thing. It really it allows me to find more people that are like me that want to do more, so.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, for sure. So how can I serve you and your people today?
All right. So today I was thinking about mindset and the importance of mindset. Cause every personal development book I read, there's always a part that has to do with what's going on in here. And I was just going to ask a few questions about why is your mindset so important when it comes to living a life of power, purpose, and passion, and in what situations would having a certain type of mindset help you or affect you?
Well, it's funny that you're saying that because I'm doing some research on my own in terms of psychology, and I'm working on a third book. I've almost completed, and it's all about mindset is literally everything. Anything that comes out of the mind is either everything that's manifested in your life comes through the mind. And at its base, when it comes to teaching people to be resourceful and self-reliant, you got to look at life from not a fear or threat mindset. As soon as you go into fear mode or threat or scarcity mode, you automatically go into this. Literally, I mean, according to psychologists, that as soon as you go into fear mode and you become a victim of your fears, what happens is your IQ goes down by 50%. And if that's the case, you're not able to make rational decisions at all. Right? You're not able to make good decisions at all from a fear mindset. I mean, I remember Tony Robbins saying, if you're in fear mode, you'll make, for example, let's say you fear you're going to lose your job, or you're going to lose your money, or lose your car, or lose your relationships. 99% of the time, if you make a decision from fear, you're going to make the wrong decision. So, I mean, if a bear is chasing you, or a crocodile's about to eat you, or something like that, I don't know, then yeah, there's certain cases where fear is actually good. It's good to have that fear. But if you're applying your life and living your life from a fear mindset, your IQ goes down by 50%. You're not making good decisions, and ultimately you go in depression, anxiety, amongst a few other mental neuroses and diseases that occur in our society. Addictions occur, all these other things, because we put ourselves in a prison. Now, if you can sort of flip it, this is what they call cognitive reappraisal. And basically just shifting or reframing your life from a threat or fear mindset to a challenge mindset. Rather than look at it from a fear mode, oh my God, this is scary. Say it, this is a challenge. This is an opportunity to make me better. Right? So rather than saying, oh, I'm scared, I'm going to go reach for food, or I'm going to go watch TV, or I'm going to go do whatever it is to distract myself. I'm going to see this as a challenge to make me better, to make me more. That is why I often tell people, if you take part in something like a marathon or a triathlon, or write a book or start a business like you guys are doing, there's obviously those necessary fears. But psychologists basically have proven that fear and excitement are dance partners. In fact, they've actually, from my research, is basically when you are fearful and excited, you actually have the same physiological response whether you have fear or excitement. So rather than get scared about it, actually tell yourself, this is exciting. If you go whitewater rafting or you go bungee jumping, there's an element of fear that goes along with that. But there's also that element of excitement, and after you're done something like a bungee jump, or conquering a fear, or starting from ground zero like you guys are in a business, and it succeeds, there's fear, but there's also excitement that goes along with it. So what I'm saying to you is this: don't view your life as all fear and anxiety and threat. Everything's a threat. But fear is as an opportunity to be challenged, to grow. Napoleon Hill said, every adversity or every heartache or every challenge in your life has with it a seed of equal opportunity or equal benefit. So if you can shift your mindset from fear and scarcity and, oh my God, everything's threat, to this is opportunity, I'm telling you, that one shift in your attitude, that one shift in your consciousness, or how you define a certain circumstance, will literally transform your life like you've never. I can't even describe what will happen if you decide to do that. And I've actually, for the past 10, 15 years, I've applied that same sort of mindset to my life, whether it be running my first marathon. I'm not even a runner. I mean, I was going through a rut, and I said, I've always wanted to run a marathon. I've always been a sprinter, but it was scary. And I remember I hadn't, before I decided to run a marathon, I hadn't run more than 5 kilometers prior to that. So, to run 42 kilometers from my place to Toronto, that's a pretty daunting task. It was scary, but it was exciting at the same time, because I saw it as a challenge to make me better. I was getting better at being more resourceful. I was getting better at being more resilient. I was getting better at being more determined. I was building up my courage, or building up my character. So at the end of the day, what it comes down to is just, again, shift your mindset from this is a threat against me to this is an opportunity, a challenge. Take, for example, video games. Video games has been, like, more people are playing video games in the world. Like, 1 billion people are online, whether it be a PS4 or Xbox One or Candy Crush or Bejeweled. I'm reading this one book called Super Better by Jane McGonigal. She has a PhD, and she wrote a book on video games, and she shifted the mindset from all this negative sort of feedback that people are getting from video games to what are some of the positives. And in the book, she describes that video games are amazing if we can take the positives out of playing video games and apply it to our life. It can literally shift our mindset. And what she basically talks about is this: when you play a mission, what's great about a video game, when you play a certain mission or a quest, there's going to be multiple failures, and there's going to be multiple times you're going to get immediate feedback from your failures. So if you go on a mission and you fail, you don't just quit. You change your strategy, you press play again or continue on the video game, and then you change your strategy. Whether it be, again, it could be Call of Duty, it could be any of those popular games, World of Warcraft or Bejeweled or whatever it is. You change your strategy until you finally defeat the boss or defeat your enemy. Well, the same thing goes for life, but if we can apply that same mindset and we don't quit in a certain challenge that we're in, or an arena, or a certain journey that we're in, and we apply that same strategy, it may not work the first time, then change your strategy. And I love how she talks about, we all have allies in a video game. We all have people that are helping us in a video game. In life, we have people that are helping us too. Find your allies. We all have power-ups in video games, right? Find people, find resources, find books and seminars that are teaching you about to be successful or happy or fulfilled or better relationships or business or money or whatever it is that you want to go for. Go into it with that mindset of, this is going to challenge it. This is making me more. So that is the major difference. I can tell people that if you can shift from oh my God, it's horrible, to, you know what? I have within me a power that can look at this challenge and raise my level of awareness, raise my ability to handle virtually anything. And one of my sort of mantras or affirmations that I say to myself on a daily basis when challenge arises either within me or outside of me is, I believe in my ability to handle anything. I believe in my ability to figure things out. I believe that I can find a way, no matter what the circumstance is, as long as my heart is beating and there's oxygen in the air that I can breathe in, I can find a way. That's the mindset you got to have. It all comes down to attitude, what you're focusing on, and how you see your situations. And that's what it comes down to there, Cameron. And I really want your audience to realize that from a success and fulfillment and happiness formula, that is the key. All self-help leaders, all successful business people, people that are successful in their health, it doesn't matter what it is. They all have a certain mindset that says, I'm determined, I'm courageous, I have tons of character, I have the ability to figure things out. Whatever it is, their attitudes are all the same. It's right across the board. Every person I've studied, every book I've read, every person that I admire, biographies, they all have the same mindset. So I'm glad you're asking that question, because that is huge.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've noticed that too with a lot of the people that I study too. They all have that that pull forward mindset, that mindset that says like, I just got to be all in and I really just got to go for it. And another thing is they always keep their eye on the ball. You know, they always keep their eye on that target that they're going for, because if it wasn't for, you know, focusing on what they want so badly, they wouldn't be able to pull through that. How would you create that mindset? Because I know it's very important to have, but how can you create that?
Well, you got to determine, you know, I was listening to audio just literally yesterday in my car, and this guy, he climbed Mount Everest and Mount Kilimanjaro and all these things, and he talked about how at the end of the audio, he gave a few suggestions, and one of the things he talked about is determine what your specific summit is, the specific, you know, want, your desire. What is it that you really, really want? You know, and Tony Robbins talks about this too, is that are more people focused on what they really want, or more people focused on what they fear? More people are focused on, have the fear mindset, are focusing on just getting by getting by each day. And if they're focusing on just getting past this day, that's what they're going to get. But if they're focusing on truly on what they want, if they truly want a better relationship, if they truly want to lose 50 pounds of body fat, if they truly want more energy, if they truly want to be more spiritually connected with God, the universe, whatever, or if they truly want to make, you know, double their income, if they truly want to serve the greater good through some charity, or, you know, serve the autistic children, or serve the poor, whatever it is, you got to really determine specifically what it is you want, and you literally have to focus in like total laser-like focus on what it is you want. In fact, I wouldn't even say daily, 3, 4, 5 times a day. Check in. You know, that's like checking. What's that? Check up from the neck up. You know, that constant reinforcement, where you want to go, why you want to go there. And, you know, some of the strategies I use, I mean, they're pretty out there. I mean, I've been studying this stuff for, you know, 15 years now. I have my own sort of ritual, and to your audience, I really recommend people have sort of a ritual every single morning, even before they sleep, even in the middle of the day, that really channels the focus on what it is they want. So whether it be writing a goal down and reading it 3, 4, 5 times a day, or meditating in the morning and visualizing what they truly want. I mean, one of the exercises I do with people that want to lose weight is get them to close their eyes and visualize with full and vivid detail what it is they truly want, and imagine themselves stepping on the scale and being the weight they want to. And every single time I do this with somebody, is they step on the scale and they go, oh my gosh, I step on the scale and you're the weight that you want to be. And then they you can see their whole body change, and they go, oh my gosh. And then I ask them, how does it feel? And they go, oh my God, it would be amazing. And they get this charge, this state change. And from that state change, they take more proactive action. If they focus on what they want, they're going to go there. So the more you focus on what you want, then that sort of, your brain starts to look for things that relate to the things that you want, right? It's like that one famous study that was done on YouTube. You can actually look it up on YouTube, where it's a psychology test where people in white shirts and black shirts are passing around a basketball, and they ask at the beginning of the psychology test, I want you to count the people in the white shirts that are throwing around the basketball. And so you start watching, and they press play, and you're watching the people in the white shirts, and they're throwing, and all of a sudden at the end it asks you, what did it, how many times did you see it? Did you see the people in the white throw the basketball? And then you say, 15? And he goes, if you answer 15, then you're right. However, did you see the person in the gorilla suit walk right in the middle? And then you kind of go, most people totally miss it. Why? And they actually rewind it, and they show you in slow motion this gorilla because you're looking for it, walk in the middle of the video and do this and then walk away. But because you're focusing on the white shirts, you're missing the people, you're missing those gems. Or the gorilla could be a gem of opportunity. The gorilla could be the woman of your dreams, or the man in your dreams, whatever the dream that you can apply that to anything, that metaphor. But the idea is, if you focus on the people on the white shirts, you're going to miss the black shirts. If you focus on the people in the black shirts, you're going to miss the people in the white shirts. So it is absolutely necessary that you take command and control of your mind and focus on what you want, and literally check in daily, 3-4 times a day, what it is you want. I'm doing this all the time. I mean, I'm some of my affirmations are, I'm saying it 10 times a day, generating more revenue, creating more wealth, becoming the best version of myself by continuously challenging myself, having an attitude and mindset that says, I'm going to be the best version. This book here is going to make me better, so I can actually articulate my message better, so I can impact the masses on a greater scale. So that is the first step. I mean, again, I meditate, an hour every single day, and I'm always visualizing. I'm doing my affirmations, my prayers, and my mantras, and my visualizations every single morning, and I'm doing that. I don't hope that I'm going to get to where I want to go. I want to have the edge. I want to maximize all the resources I have available. So I'm I wouldn't say guaranteed that I'm going to get there, but I want to maximize the resources I have available to me, so I move in that direction consistently. And the key word there, Cameron, is consistent. The one thing that all the greats, all the people that are doing well in any arena, whether it be athleticism, music, entertainment, writing books, it doesn't matter what it is, they are always consistent. When I wrote my first book, it took me 1.5 years to write that book. And the original copy was over 600 pages. And people go, well, it took you 18 months, that's a long time. But if you average it out, that's like what, a page a day, right? If you think about it, less than a page a day. And so if you think about it this way, is it a page a day? Hold on, I'm getting it wrong. But anyway, the point is that I consistently sat down to write, even if it was just a sentence or two sentences. If you think about it, if you want to write a book, let's say a 365-page book in 1 year, that's a page a day, an average. Anybody can do that. Zig Ziglar gave a great example of how he lost 37 pounds in, I think, 10 months or something. And he broke it down. He said, you know what? That's an average of 1 in 9/10 ounces every single day on average that he was losing to lose the 37 pounds in 10 months. Anybody can do that, right? So you got to focus on what it is you want, the end result. Because let's face it, if it is, let's say you want a 50,000 square foot mansion. I'm just using that as an example. Let's say you want a 50,000 square foot mansion, and you're constantly focusing on walking in that front door, sitting down on the couch. What feelings are you having as a result of sitting in that 50,000 square foot mansion inside your mind? And the feelings, basically the mansion is just a trigger to erupt feelings of certainty and power, and the feeling that, oh my God, that's what I really want, to catapult you forward, and so you could take the proactive action towards that dream, towards that desire. It could be, the body that you want, or the business that you want, or the income that you want, or whatever it is. Don't take the chance of, too many people think they just wake up and they're kind of like, I'm hoping I'm feeling today. You got to get out of that mindset. You literally have to activate it. It's like Brendan Burchard said, he continuously says, I mean, I went to a couple of his conferences, and he talks about a power plant doesn't have energy, it generates it. You don't have confidence every day, you generate confidence. You don't have love, you generate the love. You don't have courage, you generate it by activating your body, your mind, your focus, your attitude, your language. They all come together. And part of that process for me, I mean, I was telling a client of mine the other day, I said, you want the number one thing that I do every single day to keep my attitude high, to keep myself energized, more than exercise, more than prayer and meditation. You know what it truly is it's actually in my vehicle. I had this advice from my original mentor when I back in my early 20s, and he said, Anthony, use your car as a university on wheels. So now, ever since he told me that, I use my car as my university or college on wheels. I feel like I've got a PhD in self-help world almost, because I listen to it all the time. In my car right now, there's a Les Brown audio that's replaying 15, 20 times. I listen to it, and it's over and over, feeding my mind. Because the reality is, your mindset will be controlled by who you hang around, what you listen to, what you watch, and what you read. I mean, what do most people do on a daily basis? They watch 4 hours of reality TV or news, and is it positive or negative? And most of those reality shows are just negative and make fun of people. News is always talking about the war and the economy and how bad cancer and all this stuff. And you're feeding your mind that. And you can always tell someone's mindset, Cameron, by the way they're talking. Because how their mindset is will then cascade into how they speak and how they think. How someone talks is basically a direct correlation between how they think and their mindset. So in order to change your language and how you speak to yourself and speak to other people, you have to change this. And then if you want to change this, you got to change what goes inside your mind. So change what you watch, change what you listen to, change who you hang around, change what you read. Every day I'm reading. I mean, Jim Rohn, great quote he said to Tony Robbins, a member. I memorize all this stuff. And he said to Tony, he said, you know, miss a meal, but never miss a day of reading. So every day I've literally, I may miss it one day or two, but every day, even if it's 1 or 2 pages of something powerful, you know, and something that's to be meaningful. You know, the average person, they say, I think is 80% of the people that graduate from college or university never read a meaningful book after they graduate. That is horrible. Like, think about how crazy that really is, right? So every day I'm reading, I'm listening, feeding my mind the right stuff. So, you know, Zig Ziglar talks about how your input inside your mind determines your outlook. Your outlook determines your output, and your output determines your destiny. So, in order to change your destiny, you have to first focus on what? Your input. Garbage in, garbage out. Good in, good out. So if you want to know the number one thing I tell people is just start listening to audios, reading books, hanging around people that you want to be like, and I'm telling you, within a couple of years, things are gonna change for you.
Awesome. Yeah, that totally makes sense. And I've noticed that too. When you hang around with people that are, I wouldn't say toxic, but like negative and they're always complaining, you start to act like that. You start to complain, you start to be negative. And same thing with what you're watching. I know a buddy who started playing this game called Grand Theft Auto, and the game is literally just about shooting and stealing cars and robbing things, and it's a very negative game. And
Yep.
Sure, it's fun, but I mean, subconsciously you're taking all that in, and it's just gonna reflect that back out, right?
Buddy, you're absolutely right. I mean, I still have my shows. I mean, I'm gonna admit, I watch Game of Thrones. That's sort of my thing. I mean, I just watch that. It's not the greatest show to watch. I mean, it's the most horrible in terms of violence and all this other stuff. It's my thing. But I'd say 90% of the time, I'm watching what I listen to or watching what I watch. You know, what I read and what I'm listening to in my car. I mean, in my car, again, as I said, there's audios and there's stacks of it. I mean, I was telling my one client the other day, I probably spent $20,000 worth of audios, and I've probably spent $50,000 to $60,000 on seminars, on audios, certifications, on programs, you know, that I really didn't have. But I knew that if I could learn from the best. I mean, my mindset was always like, okay, if you got like in terms of financial and independence or business mindset, if there was a guy that was like Tony Robbins or John Assaraf or Zig Ziglar or Les Brown, if they were releasing a program for $1,000, or Brendan Burchard, and they were selling it for $1,000, and they were going to reveal in that program that's worth $1,000 everything they've learned in the past 20 years. For $1,000, are you kidding me? To learn from a multi-millionaire, $1,000 is nothing to me. So I saw it as that. I saw it as, you know what? I'm gonna leverage the heck out of this audio in the programs I purchased, and I'm gonna listen to it, feed my mind, apply it, and I'm still applying those principles and practices. And as I said, I'm learning something new every single time I listen to those things. I mean, I've had audios back that were recorded in 1993. We were talking, what, 25 years ago, or 1991 even, 25 years ago plus. And they still, I mean, principles are timeless, practices are timely. I remember hearing one of my mentors say. Learning principles, and then practicing them on a consistent basis. And I think, you know, for the most part, like for me, I don't trust myself to just hope that things will show up. Because I know that in my mind, if I don't listen to those audios, if I don't, go to those seminars, if I don't read those books, I'll go right back to how I used to be. And I don't want to be like that anymore. I didn't like who I was. That was part of the reason why I started this journey. Because I looked in the mirror and I was thinking how much I didn't like myself. I didn't like my life. And I wanted something more. There had to be more. And I mean, I was failing high school. My best friend was hit by a car and was killed almost instantly. I mean, I didn't like the things I was doing. I was engaged and was hanging around the wrong people, listening to the wrong music. All these things that were happening. I said, okay. And then my mentor said, Anthony, and I remember him saying this. It was. He says in one of those audios, and it was almost like he was speaking to me when he was recording this. And he said, where you will be in 2 years will depend on 3 to 4 things. And I was like listening closely. He said, who you hang around, what you listen to, what you watch, and what you read. So focus on, so change, if you don't like where you are, change who you hang around, change what you're reading, change what you're listening to, change what you're watching, and you'll be so surprised as your consciousness starts to shift, your mindset starts to shift, you start to think and act like the people you're hanging around. Start to think and act like the people you're listening to. Think and act like the books that are, or the authors that are writing these books, right? So that's what you want to do. If you want something more in your life, you're going to have to start changing this. Anything constructive or destructive comes out of the human mind. So remember that. Be very careful. In one audio, he says, be careful what goes in your ear. Be very careful, because anything you've heard, anything you've smelled, anything you digested, anything you smelt or tasted, it's actually inside your subconscious mind somewhere. Like, right? So like, I'll give you an example of this there, Cameron. Let's say you listen to an audio program, 10 years ago, and you hadn't listened to it for 10 years. I'd say you may have retained on a conscious level, maybe 1 to 5% of the stuff. But if you listen to it every day for 10 years, not only will you recall a lot of the information on the audio, but your brain tends to recall the last thing that you listened to a lot more, or the last thing you listened to 5 minutes ago. So if you continuously listen to all these great empowering messages coming from these great speakers and leaders and coaches and stuff like that, you're going to act on that consistently, and it's going to override that sort of chitter chatter that says you can't do it, that ego that says you're not good enough, or the inner cynic that says, oh yeah, you could never do that, right? So in order to override that, you got to make sure that you put yourself in an arena and give yourself that edge. Because left to our own devices, and I've done this, I've tried to do it on my own, and it never worked because I realized I needed help. I need help from people and mentors and audios and coaches, and I want to increase my chances, not decrease my chances.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree totally. Another thing that I've noticed about mindset is that, like, what determines how you feel about something is your mindset, like the way you take it in. Like, you can be a millionaire, rich, you have everything you want, but still feel really bad, still not enjoy it, not be grateful for it, and just sad. Or you could be on the street being thankful that you're alive, loving nature, like, the mindset there determines how fulfilled you are about your life in general, right? Like, there's rich people who are miserable, right? So obviously there's a missing link, and that is the mindset. So real quick, could we just kind of recap everything in sort of steps so that the people who are listening can, write it down or remember it, so that, even if they're pessimists or they're having trouble with their mindset, they'll have clear, concise steps to get there.
Well, first off, I want to sort of acknowledge you for what you said. You're absolutely right. There are people that are, wealthy beyond imagination, millionaires and billionaires, that are absolutely miserable, and there are people that have next to no money and who are extremely content and happy. If you look at the Sherpas in the Himalayas, they don't have a lot of money, but yet they're the happiest and most welcoming and kindest people that you ever meet. And the Fijian people, same thing. I mean, their attitudes are just love life. Every day is great. I remember hearing my clients say, every day is a good day, and sometimes it's sunny. And when you have an attitude like that, I mean, it just changes everything. So it's Tony Robbins gave an example in one of his audios. He talked about how he asked one person in the audience, so are you successful? And the guy says no. And he goes, why aren't you successful? He goes, well, in order for me to be successful, I got to be making $10 million a year. I got to be 6% body fat, have all my 5 children or something like that, behave and do well in life. And it's like, whoa, he's got all these rules about what it takes to be successful and happy. What are the chances of him actually achieving that on a consistent basis? And the answer is probably never. And then he asked another person in the audience, said, are you successful? He said, yeah. He goes, well, what makes you successful? He goes, every day above ground is a great day. And so when you have those rules and that mindset about what it really constitutes happiness and fulfillment and success, I must say, just to give you this sort of quick review or quick my own rules about happiness and success is really comes down to service. I remember I read on a quote in a high school the other day, and I wrote this quote down. It says, if you really want to find yourself, you lose yourself in the service of others. In order to really find yourself, lose yourself in the service of others. And I have to say, when you're contributing and you're sharing your talents and you're sharpening your talents and sharpening it and shaping it and then sharing everything, all of you, it's literally not possible to be unhappy. So make sure that whatever it is you're doing, you attach some value to not just yourself, but to other people, and how it's going to make the world better, the people around you better as well. So anyways, to recap, I would say 3 steps. One thing I have is a journal. I would suggest yourself getting a journal. Don't just leave it to your mindset and say, well, you have 60,000 thoughts a day. How can you possibly organize them? And one of the best ways to organize them is to write them down. As soon as the act of writing down a problem or act of writing down what it is you want, literally detaches your brain from it, and you actually see it from a visual point of view. Rather than just kind of keep circulating, write everything down. If you have ideas, write them down. If I've got ideas for my book, write them down. If I've got ideas for a live event, write them down. Whatever it is. Even if it's you never use it, it doesn't matter. Get in the habit of writing things down. So get the journal, number 1. Number 2, I would suggest write everything that it is that you want in life to achieve first for yourself, just personally, as personal goals. What do you want to achieve? And get specific. I want to be rich. I want to earn $10,000 a month. I want to be 170 pounds, 8% body fat. I want to have an amazing marriage, and just start writing down things out. It's not right or wrong. Just writing everything down that it is you want. I mean, if you were to design the perfect life, if life was perfect, what would that look like? And write everything specifically down. And then write on the second column, just write down everything you've ever wanted to contribute to as well. What do you want to share? What do you want to give? I mean, was it JFK that said, it's not what the country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. So again, recap, journal, write down everything you want to contribute. And then I would suggest you pick 1 or 2 of those goals that you want and really put a plan together on how you're going to make that happen, and read it every day. I mean, I'm reading my goals all the time. I'm visualizing what I want from life, what I want to achieve, what I want to give, how I want my perfect life to be, and how I want to spend my life each and every single day. Success is a journey. It's no destination. Happiness is a journey. It's not the destination. Because, how many times do we get to a destination where we're like, okay, it's Christmas, and all of a sudden it's over. You're going, whoa. It's the anticipation and the journey to Christmas that makes Christmas, or Ramadan, or whatever it is you're celebrating. And so the idea for the people out there is just get real and get raw about what it is you want, and start focusing on everything you want rather than what you fear. And I'm telling you, people out there, if you can do that alone, focus on what you want rather than what you fear on a consistent basis, you'll start to see your perception, your life shift, because you're focusing on what it is you really want, and all that will charge your mind, charge your consciousness to move in that direction, and you'll feel a lot better about your life. So journal what it is you want, what do you want to contribute, and then pick 1 or 2 of them, and put a plan together each and every single day, and read them every single day, and miraculous things will happen.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a good step. Like, I might actually follow those after this podcast.
That's what I do, man. That's what I did when I initially started too. I mean, I've got like a list of goals everywhere, and there's no right or wrong way. Everyone has a different way of doing it. Every leader, has a different way of doing it, but it's all the same sort of idea. It's really to take command of your focus, and you to take control of your life in terms of where do you want to go. I mean, I wrote this in my latest book. Every single successful, happy, fulfilled person has 2 things in common. You want to know what they are? They know where they're going, and they know what they want. With clarity and specificity. Like if you were to interview Michael Jordan or Wayne Gretzky or Tony Robbins or Steve Jobs or Bill Gates, like any person, Mother Teresa, it doesn't matter what arena that they're in. I guarantee they know where they're going and they know what they want. So that's what I'm telling you. You got to know what you want, and you have to know with certainty that you can get there. That it's a possibility for you in your life to get there, and you've got to be able to nurture that strength by your focus, by your determination, by relentless pursuit of excellence and commitment to that journey.
Awesome. Wow, this episode was packed full of some good stuff, honestly. So this was the very first episode we are trying this live thing on YouTube. So there might have been like a few weird things going on in the video. I kind of messed up a few things, but this is cool, and we're kind of learning together on this one, and it's gonna be really fun because once we start, picking up pace and gaining the momentum for the show, you guys will be able to join us on YouTube live and like comment all your stuff, and we'll be able to actually at the end of the episode read some comments and answer them live to you guys, and it's very exciting. So.
Looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it. And congratulations on the launch of your business, and hopefully that we can work together and make a bigger impact in the world.
Yes, thank you so much. I really want to plan an event. I know how difficult it is, but we'll.
No, it's already done. We're gonna do it. It's not even the fact that we're doing it. It's like I'm already in my mindset. It's done. It's like it's just a matter of putting all the pieces together. It's like you start with a puzzle and you got all 1,000 pieces. It's like you have a visualization inside your head that says, I'm gonna get this done. It's already done inside my mind. Now it's just time to go to the physical work and go and doing that. We're definitely gonna do it, 100%.
So you know where you're going and you know what you want,
buddy. All the time. That's what you gotta have, dude. You gotta have that certainty that says, man, this is where I'm going. This is what you know. What, and a little bit Les Brown says, it's not even the fact that you need to believe it or you can say I can. You just gotta know it's a possibility. Just knowing that it's a possibility, that it's possible to make things happen, regardless of what circumstance you're in or what it is you're doing. I'll leave you with this, Cameron. This story alone. Think about this. How crazy this is. There was a woman from Atlanta, Georgia, and she was born with no arms and no legs. Okay, born with no. Imagine chopping off both your arms and no legs. Like how your life would be. But she learned how to be independent. I believe she raised 2 children, and her whole mindset, she didn't want to go on welfare, so she taught herself to play the piano with her tongue. So what she would do, she'd go on one of those rollers in downtown Atlanta, Georgia, and she'd play the piano with her tongue, and apparently she was really good. And she would play and play, and that's how she would make her money. And apparently the what was it? The government, not the government. What am I listening to? Anyway, the people there, I think they filed an injunction against her. City Hall filed an injunction against her to have her removed because she was a quote unquote eyesore to the community. So she fought it, which cost her a lot of money, and she won. And you think about her whole mindset wasn't determined on how strong she was physically, but how strong she was in her heart and in her mind. And so if you think about that, if next time you doubt yourself, think about that woman who has no arms, no legs, and yet, she makes her money and raises 2 children, not on welfare, but learning herself to cook and clean and to play the piano with her tongue. So if you have 2 arms and 2 legs, that's pretty phenomenal resources that you already have above and beyond her. So think about that. Use her as your inspiration, and the next time you doubt yourself, just think about that.
Thank you. I enjoyed that. Wow. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in. Any last words there?
Just go get it. Just go get it. Whatever it is, it's available. Go get it. Just go power through it, with all your purpose, with all your passion. That's why I love those 3 words: power, purpose, passion. Claim your power, clarify your purpose, and cultivate your passion. And things will begin to unfold. And, as Henry David Thoreau says, if you advance confidently in the directions of your dreams, you will meet with success unexpected in common hours. And so you got to advance, you got to move consistently, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you for tuning in to Power, Purpose, Passion, the podcast. If you've received any value from this podcast, please leave a review on iTunes. It would help us tremendously to get on the new and noteworthy and to share Anthony's message with even more people. For more information, go to anthonycheam.com or implicitentertainment.com, and all the info should be there. So thank you again. We'll see you next week.